Hey guys, I want to make a quick video about changing the rack and pinion on a '03 to '07 Honda Accord, the 2.4 liter. I'm not sure whether the V6 is the same or not, but just in the middle of it, I'm going to give you a rundown of the steps on how to get it pulled and put back in. First thing you want to do, get a light real quick. Very first thing you want to do, pull back your carpet, and once you pull your carpet down, there's this surround right here. You want to pull that surround back, loosen the 3 nuts that you see, loosen those 3 nuts, and then there's a pinch bolt down there. You take that pinch bolt out, it's a 10mm, and then that shaft will just pull up off of the spline. There's a shaft that runs into your rack and pinion. It just pulls up. So once you get that done, you want to pull both wheels off. Oh, one more thing. I got a lift, which makes it a lot easier, but you can do it without a lift. It is possible. You just got to jack it up, put it on jack stands. Good enough. There is a high pressure line, which is right there on your power steering pump. It runs up, around, and then down in. You just, it's self-explanatory. Take that line off. The line will run over. It'll run over. Let's see if I can get a shot into the rack and pinion down there. See them 2 plugs? Them 2 plugs will come out. That's a new one. Pull them plugs out. The 2 lines will come off your supply and your return. There's also, back in there will be a plug on the high pressure line. You got to pull the electrical plug off. It's your high pressure sensor. Now, get it up here so you guys can see. There's a bracket back there. See that bracket? It's 2 bolts right there. Loosen them bolts up, take that bracket off. There's 2 bolts back here, little bracket. Take them bolts out, take that bracket off. And then up under here, see that bolt sticking up? Yeah, that bolt sticking up back there. Yeah, you got to take that out. Now that bolt, you're going to have to go from the top of the car with long extension and go down through, get the socket on that bolt, and screw it up out of there. It's a pain in the ass, but it can be done. I did it. Let's see. So if you do all that, it'll be loose. And once you got it loose, oh, one more thing. Them two bolts right there, loosen those up. You ain't got to take them out, but loosen them up. That's part of the mount that holds the frame. So you'll need them loose. Then right there will be a bracket, a long bolt, and then that short bolt. You want to take that bracket off. That cuts this front loose, letting it sag down to give you room to get the old one out. Then you come to the other side of the vehicle. There's that bracket there. Again, long bolt, short bolt. All you gotta do is loosen that bolt back there. Loosen that bolt. Take that bolt all the way out. And that's about it. That's all you have to do. Now, everything that I did, I had to use a ton of PB Blaster. And also, whenever you PB Blaster it, your bolts are going to want to stick in there. You got to run them out, PB Blaster them, run them back in a few turns. Run them out till it gets tight again, spray it, run them back in. And you just keep doing that, because if not, you'll snap them bolts off. And whenever you snap them bolts off, you're going to have big problems. So I gave you the rundown. Sorry I didn't do it while I was actually doing it. But, you know, I gave you the steps. Gave you a good idea of how to do it. Let's see here. One more thing. Them bolts up there are 14 millimeter. These bolts down, that bolt down there, that's a 17. The one on the stem on the inside of the car is a 10. Those ones are 17s. Those ones up there are 14s. So that's about it. That wraps it up. Whenever you go to pull the old one out, you wanna pull. There's that bracket back there. You need to pull it back out of that bracket. Once you get it pulled out of that bracket, you got to turn it towards the front of the car. And then once you finagle the stem towards the front of the car, which would be up in there, then you got to pull it out. What I had to do was I took a pry bar in between here and there, pried down on that. And while I was prying down, once I had the rack and pinion spun, I pulled it out. And do the same thing, putting it back in. Make sure whenever you go to put your bolts back in, you wire brush them real good so they run in smooth. Because just getting them bolts out took me a ton of time to get them out without snapping them. But putting them back in, after you wire brush them, throw a little bit of Never Sees on them, they'll run right back in. So putting it back together is only going to take a quarter of the time as taking it apart. I hope this video helps you guys. Peace.